The golden age of Hollywood wasn't all sparkle and stardust. It was scandals, mysteries, and unbelievable truths hiding in plain sight. Howard Hughes's Engineering a Bra. Howard Hughes, a brilliant yet eccentric aviation tycoon, brought his engineering mindset into Hollywood in strange ways. While producing The Outlaw, he became fixated on highlighting actress Jane Russell's figure. Dissatisfied with her wardrobe, Hughes personally engineered a unique underwire bra using aviation principles, creating a cantilevered structure intended to lift and shape her bust dramatically. Russell found the contraption stiff, uncomfortable, and impractical, so she quietly refused to wear it, modifying her own lingerie instead. The film still achieved the look Hughes wanted without his invention. His obsession didn't stop there. As head of RKO Pictures, Hughes kept meticulous records of actresses' measurements and monitored their bodies with unsettling precision. Over time, his behavior grew increasingly erratic and reclusive, yet his influence on Hollywood remained strong. The bra incident remains one of the strangest examples of his unusual blend of genius and obsession. George Reeves's mysterious death. George Reeves, beloved for playing Superman on television, died under circumstances that remain controversial. In 1959, he was found in his bedroom with a gunshot wound to the head. The official ruling was suicide, but the scene raised many questions. Party guests downstairs reportedly waited nearly an hour before calling police. The gun showed no fingerprints, Reeves had unexplained bruising, and the bullet casing was found beneath his body, an odd placement for a self-inflicted shot. Reeves had upcoming marriage plans and renewed career opportunities, contradicting the idea of suicidal intent. Additionally, he was involved with Tony Mannix, whose husband was an MGM executive, rumored to have powerful and possibly dangerous connections. Some believe Reeves was killed to resolve personal conflicts, while others suspect an accidental shooting. Despite decades of speculation, the case was never reopened, leaving more suspicion than certainty. Bette Davis versus Joan Crawford feud. Few Hollywood rivalries reach the epic scale of Bette Davis and Joan Crawford's long-standing feud. It began in the 1930s when Crawford married actor Franco Tone, whom Davis admired, setting off years of jealousy and competition. Their tension escalated during the filming of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where on-set pranks turned petty and painful. Crawford allegedly added weights to her costume so Davis would struggle in a dragging scene. Davis retaliated by installing a Coke machine on set, despite Crawford's ties to Pepsi. The most legendary moment came at the 1963 Oscars. Davis was nominated, Crawford was not, and Crawford arranged to accept the award for another actress, effectively stealing the spotlight. The feud continued publicly through interviews and comments for years. Behind its theatrics, the rivalry reflected the intense pressures placed on aging actresses competing for scarce roles in a ruthless industry. The Munchkin hanging myth. One of the most persistent Hollywood urban legends claims that a Munchkin actor took his life on the set of The Wizard of Oz, and that the act was accidentally captured in the film. Fans pointed to a shadowy figure in the background of a forest scene as supposed evidence. For decades, VHS tapes fueled speculation, with viewers convinced they saw a swinging silhouette. In reality, the figure was simply a large bird, likely a crane or emu, that MGM had brought onto the set to create a more lively forest atmosphere. Despite official explanations and debunking by historians, the myth endured, overshadowing real dangers the cast faced. The legend's persistence shows how audiences are drawn to hidden, darker meanings behind classic films, often preferring sensational stories over mundane truth. It also highlights how rumors can outlive facts in Hollywood's myth-making ecosystem. Marlene Dietrich's lighting control. Marlene Dietrich was famous not only for her magnetic screen presence, but for her mastery of lighting. She learned early in her career how shadows and angles could shape her appearance, and she insisted on controlling every close-up. Her contracts allowed her to approve cinematographers and personally oversee lighting setups. Dietrich often worked alongside lighting technicians, adjusting key lights to create the soft glow that became her signature look. She carried a small mirror on set and checked it constantly to ensure flawless presentation. While some directors found her demands excessive, The results justified her meticulous approach. Dietrich's lighting control represented far more than vanity. It was a rare assertion of power by a woman in a male-dominated system. By shaping her own image with such precision, she became one of the first actresses to wield genuine behind-the-camera influence in Hollywood. Tallulah Bankhead's wild defiance. Tallulah Bankhead was a force of nature, whose bold personality and disregard for Hollywood rules made her unforgettable. Known for her husky voice, sharp humor, and uninhibited lifestyle, Bankhead refused to adopt the carefully curated image studios demanded. She smoked cigars, used colorful profanity, and openly expressed her bisexuality, all taboo at the time. During filming of Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat, she famously refused to wear underwear, claiming it interfered with her performance. When crew members worried the camera might reveal too much, she shot back with a quip that became legendary. Bankhead also defied studios by refusing long-term contracts, choosing artistic freedom over steady fame. Her rebelliousness limited her Hollywood career, but it cemented her status as an icon of individuality. Tallulah stood as a rare figure in classic Hollywood, someone determined to be unapologetically herself in an era built on rigid control. Fatty Arbuckle's scandal. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was one of silent film's biggest stars until his life was derailed by a sensational scandal. In 1921, he hosted a party where actress Virginia Rappe fell ill and later died. Arbuckle was accused of assaulting her, and newspapers seized the story, portraying him as a monstrous figure despite the lack of evidence. Public outrage exploded, leading Paramount to cancel his films and the industry to blacklist him. 3 trials followed. The first 2 ended in hung juries, and the third acquitted him completely. The jury even issued a formal apology, stating he had been wrongfully vilified. But the damage was done. Arbuckle's reputation never recovered, and his once thriving career collapsed. The case prompted Hollywood to overhaul how it handled scandals, eventually leading to the formation of the Motion Picture Production Code. Arbuckle's downfall showed how swiftly fame could be shattered.